Okay. Good evening, good evening. Oh, there's a nice kitchen. I recognise those tiles. Hello, hello, Nat. How you doing?
I'm okay, thank you. And you?
Fantastic. Well done on QD.
Hazel?
Yep.
I'll just close the camera down for a minute while I finish eating my tea. Give me 2 minutes. I'll get back.
Okay.
I'll keep the microphone on.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Hello, Victoria.
Hello. Bit
How
of
you
light.
doing?
Sorry. Right.
That's all right. How's things? You okay? What I love about these Zoom calls is that you can rock up. I'm in my shorts and vest top that I've been wearing all day. I haven't got a smidge of makeup on and nobody cares. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Me too. Just got to.
Perfect. Okay. So it's 8:30 and I know your time's precious this evening, Victoria. We may have a few people joining us a little bit later on. I see we've got a nice little young one there, Nat and John, a very cute little one joining us there, which is fab. Hiya. Anyway, I get distracted. Right, I'm going to put people on mute other than Victoria to begin with, if that's all right, or if you can mute yourselves, that would be great. And we can then just have a bit of a chat with Victoria, because as you all know, Victoria is a fantastic, oh thank you lovely, a fantastic customer gatherer and distributor gatherer extraordinaire over in Bridgend Way, aren't you, Victoria?
Yeah, Bridgend, yeah.
Fantastic. So, Victoria, we're going to be talking a little bit about the Showtime that Derek introduced back last summer, I think it was. He's been talking about it for a little while. But just before we talk about that this evening and tell everybody what you do, just give us a quick little background as to who you are and how long you've been in the business and, you know, all that kind of general blurb.
Yeah, okay. So, been in the business, sorry about that, I just let the dog out. The professional call tonight is proper chill, isn't it? I started 6 years ago in the business and did you know, quite a bit in the first few months, got to TL within the first year and then stopped.
Oh, okay.
And so I think I was on around 20 personal customers and then sort of stopped. And I stopped for about four years.
Wow.
So I've only really taken this seriously since last year when I spent the last 16 years in senior management and health and social care.
Okay.
I had a stressful job and with adults with learning disabilities and mental health. And last year there was a restructure and an option for redundancy, and I took it because of Quip.
Yay!
So, no, thank God for Quip. So because of Quip being such a game changer, I thought, well, if I really blast this, I can replace my salary that I needed, and have more time with the children. So I got two boys, William and Lewis. They're 8 and 6, so they're obviously very busy.
Absolutely.
Needs a lot of time. You've got 3 of your own, haven't you? So you know what it's like. So I thought, take a chance. And I still do the odd couple of days training here and there, but I get to choose now because of the luxury. So maybe I train maybe once, twice a week.
Okay.
Instead of 50 hours. So Derek set that challenge with last August.
Yeah, he did. Was that a day trip up to head office or something like that?
Yeah, we went to an NHQ visit. At the end of the visit, he showed us what was then the new present, and then set us the challenge to show as many people as we could. So I literally showed everyone I could grab my hands on.
Okay.
So it wasn't a very planned challenge, if I'm honest.
Okay. Was there a set time frame for the challenge?
Yeah, it was 10 or 11 days.
Okay. And what was your prize? What did he hang as bait?
Weekend in the Celtic Manor. Ooh. Dinner, bed and breakfast.
So worthwhile going for then?
It was, yeah. And so I literally went from showing neighbours. Basically what I did was ask them for a favour. Can you do me a favour?
Okay.
Most people say yes to that. And
Okay.
I'll say, and I just said, I'm doing this challenge to show as many people in this fortnight. I just said that to keep it simple as possible. It would just take 10 minutes. Will you mind looking at it for me? Most people said yes. I think it was only one guy that said no. Out of 67 people, 66 said yes to watching it.
Oh my God. So just to clarify then, you did 66 presentations of the 12-minute presentation in a 10-day period, was it?
10 or 11 days it was, yeah. So I've averaged 6 a day.
Wow. Okay. Amazing.
So, yeah, so the results from that, I think Derek shared in Express Day, and I haven't got the exact figure now, but I mean, in the since August, what's that, 10 months?
Something like that.
I think, yeah, about 10 months now. I think I've got, an addition of 40, 50, maybe around 50 customers in addition.
Wow.
So not all from those 66, but a lot of referrals from people in that time.
Yeah.
I'm still actually got some of those 66 on my callback list because the contract's expiring and
Amazing.
they're going to be coming back around, you know. So
yeah, it's the same as all of them. There's follow-ups to be done.
Yeah.
Okay. So fantastic. So you kind of really got your teeth into it, and you say you went out and spoke to neighbours, and you know, and am I right in remembering something that Derek said? You kind of you'd walk into businesses and talk to people, and literally anybody you could get your hand on, you'd walk the streets until you find somebody to show it to.
Yeah, no, yeah. It doesn't sound very glamorous, does it? But yeah, it just
sorry, I didn't mean like that.
I get what you mean. It's on the street for a whole 11 days. Exhausting work. So anyway, I went into I did. I went into local, smaller businesses and introduced myself as a local business owner myself. And they asked to see the owner of the business. If the owner wasn't there, I'd say, that's okay. Do you mind if I show you this instead and find out when they were back? And most people said yes. So then if it was the business owner, I just introduced myself as, you know, a local business owner myself. Can I show you this? And it was, yeah, okay, we've got time. Yeah,
brilliant.
That's fine.
And then it's simple as that. And I think a lot of the times we make things more complicated than needs be. It's just about having the balls to get out there and just say, you know what, I need to show it to people. But just so you, in the initial stages, you ask them a favour, can I come and can I show this to you? And then you just work through the 12-minute presentation, showed them both Joanna videos, I assume, and got to the end of the presentation. So at the end of the presentation, then there's that little button at the bottom rather that says, so what would you like to do next? What's best for you, I think it is, isn't it? You know, be a customer, be a distributor, or both. How, at that point, bearing in mind that you'd asked them a favour initially, how did you then kind of convert it into a lead that you could follow up and kind of a real kind of genuine prospect, as opposed to somebody who just went, brilliant, yeah, lovely, looks great, and you said, oh, thank you very much for doing me a favour, I showed it to you now. But how did you kind of make that conversion and make that leap from being somebody's doing you a favour to actually a potential prospect that you could follow up?
You know what, I didn't use the same sort of closing for everyone. I sort of tried to judge from their sort of body language, level of interest, because you can sort of tell if people are intrigued to find out more, or if I've done her a favour now, you know, you can leave. Because some people are so busy and they've got other things on, and obviously I did pick them all at ad hoc time. So I think you've got to use a little bit of your instinct and reading a bit of body language to know the appropriate sort of question at the end. But I mean, if you stick to the presentation and say, what do you think would be best for you? What do you think would be best for you? Save money. You've sort of just asked them it in a sort of hypothetical way because you've asked for a favour. But then you can engage in the conversation then and maybe elaborate on a few things. And a popular one that I've used most recently as well is, would you be comfortable for me to come and show you a little more?
Oh, that's
to see if I can actually save you money. And I usually say as well, look, I'm not trying to sell you anything. These are essential services. But I can either save you or I can't. If I can, great. If I can't, I'll have to say goodbye.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
it's no pressure. People don't want to feel like they've been sold to today, really, because we've got so many messages like that in this modern day. It's nice to have a bit of, okay, she doesn't want to con me or sell me anything. She just wants to take a look and see if she can help. And I think if we keep things sincere and honest, because we obviously want to be honest, because
absolutely,
that's what we're about. I think we just stick to that, then it's just a nicer message delivered as well, isn't it, for everyone?
Yeah. Perfect. So that's a great line that you're using now. So just remind me, so would you be comfortable, thank you for letting me show that to you, would you be comfortable with me popping over to show you a little bit more and actually seeing what savings there could be for you? Is that about right?
Yeah, and sort of, reiterate, and you're not trying to sell them anything that they don't need, because we're not aware. And if someone, if I went to a customer and they had no interest in a mobile phone because they were older and just like their landline and were on a pay-as-you-go, I'm not going to sign up to a monthly cost for a SIM card necessarily. I'm going to be honest, unless that, outweighed the benefit then, and the cost. So, I think, honesty is best policy, isn't it? It's an old saying.
Yeah, it's so true. It really is. It's so true. Absolutely. But I think that's really good. Another line that I tend to use quite often that is, similar kind of things is, look, your only obligation is a cup of tea. I do require a cup of tea, but as long as you can stretch to that, and that normally gets a bit of a giggle from them. And then once you've got that banter going, it's a little bit more relaxed as well. So it's a similar kind of thing, I think, isn't it?
Well, another line as well for people that say, I haven't got time. Because you say, are you interested in the business? And they've maybe said, I wouldn't have time for that. After you've shown in the Joanna video, I'd say, well, that's how I felt. I didn't have time. That I found. Yeah. And just use that then, because then that's another sort of way in for maybe a potential partner, and then tell them your story so they can see, okay, this maybe could be a way to cut my hours down or have a bit of time eventually, because that's what we're all doing, isn't it? So
absolutely. So really you're using the presentation as an opportunity to potentially open a bit of a conversation with them. So you're kind of doing the preamble, the banter, the chatting, as Claire Hingott likes to put it, almost at the end of the presentation rather than at the beginning to a certain extent.
Depends where I am and who it is. So when I did that Showtime week, it was very much like that, because it was Can You Do Me a Favour and look at this, and then the banter after, and then obviously if you're whamming or doing a wham, it's different then. It's the banter comes first for you to just sort of engage with them, isn't it? So that's where you've sort of really got to change your approach dependent on the circumstances, where you are, who they are, and be respectful of. I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was Michael Earl that said, I remember Mike and Joe from Bristol, I think he said, if you can come down to people's level and way of thinking, you connect with them better, don't you? So they're going to, it's about, again, it's like respect, isn't it?
Absolutely. And as you said earlier, I think it's about reading that body language, isn't it? And gauging their level of interest and kind of going from there. So kind of going on from there, obviously you had great results. You did 66 show times in a 10-day period, which is kind of insane, really, when you think, how many of us are doing, how many people are doing on over a monthly period, really. And kind of, obviously that's continued to have a massive impact. What would you say you're doing now in terms, are you continuing that level of showtime, or are you kind of still doing, obviously not that level of showtime, but are you still doing a lot of showtime to saying, look, can you just do me a favor, as a way of getting into things, or are you tending to kind of go back to whams or official appointments?
Because I'm still on, I think I've got about active referral list of about 50 or 60 people that I still haven't got to. So since then, and when I've done the hamper challenge and the Henley challenge, from all of those sign-ups, which sort of came as a knock-on effect from that, I've still got a massive list of referrals. So, and I've been starting, because it's whamming season now, taking the opportunity. Let's get some more connections, summer months. So it's all school fates the last couple of weeks. So sort of keeping the momentum going is because this time of year, where Showtime is great for actually a winter month as well, because you go inside, you can walk into show houses, the people that work in the show homes. I've done that. that lady last week from last August because her contracts are expiring this month.
Fantastic.
So, you know, it's still from last August. You can just go in anywhere indoor while you're shopping, while you're paying for something at the checkout.
Yeah.
When you're in Sainsbury's, say, oh, I'll get cash back here. Do you know how to do that? Do you want me to show you?
Brilliant.
Yeah. Give them my phone, pop your number in there while I'm packing my bags, got my hands full. I'll give you a call later. So then you've got their number, you're not dishing out a business card that they might put in the bin when you're, you know, when you're back.
You've got no way of contacting them. Absolutely. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's a really key point, is the fact that you are actually tailoring your activity and your style of activity to the kind of year and the circumstances around you. As you say, now is prime whamming opportunity time. So you really want to be hitting it. Whereas, you know, the Showtime activity gives you the opportunity to kind of generate leads from nowhere, essentially, when the whams are a little bit thinner on the ground and that kind of. But talking to people, so it's using a little bit of everything and not just Showtimes that's been a real success for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got to mix it up a bit, and it keeps it a bit more interesting for you, because if you're just doing the same thing, I know we're all doing the same presentation and the same application form, but just mixing up your sort of approach with it keeps it a bit more exciting, and you can sort of challenge yourself. Like I done a wham with Cross Team on Friday, and everyone packing up, and I said, right, Rob, we're not going from here until we've got at least another name each, at least another appointment each. And he was like, about to pack up, and he went, yeah, okay. He was like, challenge yourselves. You know, when you're with each other, find someone you work well with and give each other a little challenge. It gives you a little bit of motivation. Because we can all have days where you think, oh, I really can't be bothered today, or because that's what we're battling, isn't it? It's like this sort of
internal voices.
Yeah, and if you've got someone else to bounce off with that's great.
Fantastic. Brilliant stuff. So let me see, what else did I write down here? I think we've covered most of it. So you're still doing kind of Showtimes in terms of kind of appointments versus Showtimes. Obviously, as we've said, there's benefits depending on time of year and whatever else, and your circumstances around what it's doing. But I mean, do you have like a weekly target of like, this is how many people I need to be showing the presentation to a week in order to achieve the goals that you want? Because I assume you're probably aiming for the holidays now. You've already picked up Henley, you've already picked up the Hamper Challenge.
Just behind.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get one in at least one a day in the diet.
So either a Showtime or a full appointment.
Full appointment, and then the Showtime, I'm calling it now Networking Through Life, because I'm doing that as and when I see a little opening, when I'm meeting people, just like I said, in queues, when I'm filling up in the petrol station, when I'm in the play zone with the kids, or wherever really, because you just can't miss any opportunity, and there's no reason not to. Like I was filling up with fuel in Asda in Corriton the other week after I think it was after an op. So it must have been a couple of months ago, actually.
Yeah.
And the guy in front, I just made eye contact with him, and I said, I didn't realise they built a Starbucks here. And he went, I said, I can't have been here for a while. And he said, oh yes, been there a while. And I said, oh, I wouldn't drink. I only drink coffee when I get cash back. He must have thought, she's weird. She's filling up her fuel and telling me about cash back, right? So I said, he said, what do you mean? I said, well, I get cash back on my fuel as well. A little white lie that was, because we didn't actually get in Asda then, but it was but if it was this month, it would be the truth, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And I said, would you like to? He said, tell me more about that. I said, you know what? I've got to go and pay a minute. So I didn't tell him anything. I said, I'm just going to go and pay for my fuel. I'll catch you on my way out. So he stood at the pump, stuck filling his car up, thinking, what's she on about? And then I'm back out, and they went, do you want my number? Yes, definitely. But he gave me his. I said, when's convenient time to call you? And he looked at his watch and he went, 10:15. That night. I said, okay, I'll be home by then, because obviously I can't dial you while I'm driving. So it was after the op. It must have been about 9:15, and you had an hour's drive to work because he was going to a night shift. So, you know, just opportunity, take all the opportunities. Does it matter if the people turn their nose up at it? No.
Absolutely. And it's a numbers game, isn't it? It's about just getting out there and showing the numbers. And I can imagine that, you know, while you're out showing all these people, not everybody's going to say yes to, you know,
No.
or even if they let you show them the presentation, they're not always going to become customers, or they're not always going to say yes or whatever. So same with everything, it's a numbers game. But the more people you show it to, and you're finding, I assume, that the more you're showing it to, the more results you're getting. It's that activity versus results thing.
Definitely. And last Sunday, thinking about it, I actually signed up someone from Showtime Week. It took me, though, the whole year to convince them.
Really?
It was, yeah, my partner's mum. She obviously participated in the Showtime to help me get my figures up, because we were taking photos of everyone that we were showing, you see. So I had to have evidence. So she looked at it then and was like, "Oh, this is what you do." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you want me to have a look at it?" "Oh, no, I don't want it. No, it's not for me." Yeah, I had all that.
Yeah.
She's a double Daffy Gold customer since Sunday, and activated her mobile SIM today. Pack code's done. So don't give up on the people that say no, because it is, you know, it is a no for now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And how have you found the follow-ups? What have you got a system in place for your follow-ups and things? Do you use the CRM system, or do you have your own system?
I have got the CRM, but I'm going to be completely honest. I'm a bit old-fashioned with pen and paper. I like writing things down. So I've got, obviously on my lists are in separate sort of journal, and then my diary is like my Bible. And even when people's contracts are coming up, I pop in my diary. When the callbacks, you know, because it's not a good time, or I'm away for a month, or I'm back in October, pop it down in my diary. I diarise everything.
Right. Okay. Fantastic.
I know the CRM is best, but I mean, I check that week ahead to see what I'm gonna. I just love a diary. I have got CRM, but I don't. You know, it's a bit out of date. I'd have to spend a couple of hours updating it. New contacts if I was to go back.
Some of the best people in this business build their business on pen and paper. You know, the CRM is available, the CRM is there great for technology, but it's not essential. And I certainly, I mean, I've only recently got into it in the last 6 or 8 months or so, and I've been doing this business for 7 or 8 years. So it's not essential. It's, you know, the pen and paper is a place to start, and that's accessible to everybody.
It's preference, isn't it? Everyone's got, you know, they preferred sort of methods of jotting things down. I like a good pencil and paper, actually.
Fantastic. And then one last one as well for me, Victoria. In terms of kind of newbies that you're bringing on board, how are you duplicating the art of the Showtime and that kind of thing? Are you kind of trying to then progress this down through your team as well, and to get them doing exactly the same thing?
Yeah, I've got a couple of, so obviously supporting them on appointments is just really important, isn't it? So they can sort of a mentoring session for them. So they can see how you sort of handle the appointment, and supporting your new IDs. So if you've got someone really new, for example, that, you know, they've qualified, or maybe they're on 7 personal or 8 personal customers, and they bring in a new ID. It's still early days to expect them to do that same mentoring. So just to keep filtering that down, I think it's important to help, obviously, get them to team leader and feeling good. So regular contact with, which I've got the bonus of having a lot more time on my hands now, because I'm not working full time, so that's great. And a couple of my new team are part-time workers anyway, so we can get together in a day. Just with, obviously, WhatsApp groups, and I haven't got sort of like I've been thinking about this recently, actually. I haven't actually got like I know some people have got, you know, a file that they give a new ID, or some notes, or, you know, tips on list making, or something. I tend to do it, if I'm honest, face to face. As you can tell, I like talking a lot.
That's why we get on well, lovely.
Yeah. I'll talk just due to sleep, you know what I mean? So I like to get in there face to face with them as well. And I know it's not always possible for everyone, especially when the team grows. I'm sure I'm going to have to find some alternatives. I might be coming to class for some tips with that. Okay.
Brilliant. But yeah, absolutely, I think it's all just about kind of getting that repetition going on board, and it's a numbers game. But I think, you know, just hearing about the way in which you were able to just get out there and have the confidence to go, you know what, can you do me a favor? Going back to the whole Showtime initial challenge, I think that's absolutely massive. And hearing how you were able to then convert it from being a Showtime to doing me a favor to, right, okay, can I maybe come and show you how much you could actually save as well? I think a lot of people I know have said in the past, what, you know, how does she do that? And what's the magic secret? And I guess ultimately there is no magic secret, is there? It's just about getting out there and doing the numbers. Smiling a lot. Absolutely.
Do you know my most recent ID sign up, which was this week? I'm due to meet with him and his wife tomorrow. They absolutely lovely couple, and I met him walking the dog.
Oh, really?
I didn't know him, never seen him. And we're quite a large community, even though we're close communities, a lot of us that we still, you know, people we don't know. And I was walking down the estate one way and he was walking the other, and as we walked past, I just said hi and smiled, and he said good morning, and then he must have walked down the opposite way and we met again at the top, and I said, oh, fancy seeing you again. I said, isn't it a lovely day? That's all I said. And he went, it's absolutely beautiful sunshine. I said, are you new to the area? Where are you from? He said, yeah, we just moved here from Kent. And I said, oh, that's great. How are you finding Wales?
Yeah. Just
chatty. He said, I love the Welsh people. We wondering why we didn't move here sooner, because they're originally from South Africa. And he's like, why do we not move here sooner? My wife's got a job as a nurse in the hospital and I'm a secondary school teacher. And I said, oh, what school do you teach? And he said, oh, I'm just sticking to agency at the minute. I'm going to be quite picky about where I choose to go full time because I like to have the odd day off. And I said, you know what? Exactly what I used to think, and that's why I sacked my boss last year. Now I can choose when I work. And he said, really? And that was it. And him and his wife met with me. They came to the op last month and they signed this week, just on a dog walk. Walking the dog.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. That's how you sacked your boss and you get to choose what hours you work. Brilliant lines. Having a great little armory of lines like that and making it natural and conversational is absolutely key, isn't it?
It is, I think, because if you've just got one script, it's not going to work. I mean, you know, there's so many books out there, and you know, you get 5 levels of formality. You've got all, but also you just got to connect with people.
Brilliant.
Find a connection.
Amazing. Victoria, I cannot thank you enough for coming on tonight and chatting to everybody. I hope everybody has found that of some use. I think there's lots and lots. If I get any further questions from the team or whatever, then I will send them over and kind of plague you endlessly. But yeah, Victoria, I'm really, really grateful for coming on board and chatting to us all tonight. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. To me.
Oh, it's grand. Thank you. It's nice to have a cross team member on the chat as well. So yeah, we're good. Brilliant. Thank you, lovely. Thank you.
Fun.
Right. Well, before I go, I'm also going to get Lloyd to just talk about quickly today's announcements. Victoria, you're welcome to stay. If you've got to dash off, that's absolutely fine too. But there were a few announcements at the GL Day today. And was it SGL Forum over in somewhere foreign, somewhere in England? It's a different country to me. So I wanted to just chat briefly with Lloyd to find out exactly what it is that's been announced, because from what I've heard, I'm excited and I'm hoping that it's really going to excite a lot of you as well. So Lloyd, you've got about 10 minutes if you need that long. Probably not, but
need that long. Can you hear me? Is that I'm not sure where Victoria's gone. I'm going to have to ring her up and reprimand her for leaving our Zoom call early, but never mind. Just on the point of Victoria, by the way, it was absolutely amazing going through the journey she was talking about to actually be seen on your genie. And Victoria is deep down in Derek's business somewhere, and you know, looking at the genie every day and seeing, you know, Victoria, another customer, another ID and whatever. And I had to ring up Derek and said, this Victoria Hamilton, what is she doing? Because it just sort of jumped out on the genie. So fair play to her. And as you heard, she's still benefiting from that today. But moving on today, we were at a SGL Forum Leadership Day in Nottingham, and absolutely fantastic news coming out of there. And some of you, I alluded to this last week when I was in Cardiff. Was it last week? Was it only last?
Yes, it was last week.
I can't remember. And just some details to be confirmed, actually, which is good news for everyone, because what they've actually done, first of all, is they've given an amnesty on promotion bonus. So you all know promotion bonus is set. You've got to reach a certain level in a certain time from your last promotion. And I guess most people on the call are either going for team leader or senior team leader, or Hazel in your case, group leader. Yeah, and some of you are very close to it. And the good news is you've now got onto Express Day 2019. So that's what's that, 7-8 months?
Yeah.
And if you hit your next level, you will still qualify for that promotion bonus. So starting at the top, Hazel, with a TL to go in order to get to GL,
yeah,
it's £2,000 in the bank for you. You just got to decide when you want to collect it. And Kath, I think Kath's on the call somewhere, very close to STL. That's an extra £500. And arguably, there's no reason why you can't do more than one of these promotions. So that's the promotion bonus reset until Express Day 2019.
Fantastic.
And for those of you going for the high levels, GL and SGL, it's actually reset to Express Day 2020. Okay, so there's plenty of time to earn some promotional bonuses. Okay,
so was that the GL for 2020 or GL for
GL and above has been reset to 2020, so Express Day 2020.
Amazing.
So that's just fantastic news, and I think it just creates a little bit more urgency and probably what we want to do is sit down with our plans and decide to just do this, because there's money on the table. So that was one thing that was fantastic, and then we've got this new leadership development bonus, which is available for GLs and SGLs. Okay, and this is just incredible. Okay, and it's designed to, like the name suggests, develop leadership within your team, and the company are going to pay you for doing that. So again, based on the promotion bonus amounts, as a GL, so Hazel, I'm regarding you as a GL. As a GL, if you break a TL in your business,
frontline or anywhere in the business,
doesn't have to be frontline, anywhere in your business.
Okay.
Every time a TL breaks, it will pay you £250.
Wow.
Anywhere.
Anywhere in my business.
Anywhere in your business, as a GL, it will pay you £250. If you break an SDL in your business, anywhere in your business, it'll pay you £500.
Wow.
Okay. If you break a GL in your business, it will pay you £2,000. So what we've done there is like matching promotion bonus for GLs and SGLs. Okay. Now I make no apology for it. It's designed for you guys as TLs and STLs to get to GL. Okay, because whilst you're not GL,
you're not going to be benefiting from that.
Sarah Johnson is living the life of Riley while you're not GL. Okay. and fair play to her. She deserves it for the work they've put in over the years. But the strong message is, let's knuckle down and get to these levels. Okay, because there is amazing income available at those levels. So that was the crux of it. And I make no apology for talking about money. There are some details of how you qualify and stuff like that, which I'm sure you'll come out see in due course. But what we're doing here is we're now looking to drive the business through leadership. Okay, and the company are saying, right, we need more leaders. We want you to find the leaders, and by finding the leaders, we're going to reward you for doing that. Okay, so we're making no bones about it. It's pure cash bribery. Okay,
Works for me.
Go and drive it, and you know, you're going to do that. Incidentally, you know, once you get up to SGL, if you go and then create an SGL leg as an SGL, the minimum you would earn on the leadership development bonus is just under 16,000, 15,750, and that's minimum. It's probably going to be more like 20,000, and even if that takes you 3-4 years, it's bonuses being paid regularly as you're building your business. On the back of that, as it drives your business, obviously the jewel in the crown, the cherry on the icing on the cake is residual income. So it builds up your residual income, and that's the income we actually want to build. That's going to aid us in retirement and all those things. So that's the basis of it. And you know, like I alluded to, sit down with your upline, whoever you're working with, and start planning these levels. And then what you've seen from Victoria today, got to go and put in the activity.
Yeah,
okay, because
absolutely.
without the activity, then none of it's going to happen. So these are some stuff we've got. What I'm going to be doing, I've got a Zoom call for SGLs and GLs tomorrow, and we're probably going to do another Zoom call on Wednesday evening, okay, for the rest of the team, so we can tell them the news and how they can use that not only to drive their businesses, but to recruit other people into their business and to you know, earn some of this money. There's cash on the table, and yeah, it's just available for anyone who wants that. So I don't know if you've managed to digest any of that yet, but if you sit down and you start working out some of the numbers, you'll see that there's sort of like amazing incomes available to have. So yeah, so that's about it from the news. An amazing day, amazing speakers. We also heard from Jane and Darren Turner, who's been in the business just under 20 years, I think it is. And last month, residual income took them over the £1 million mark for residual income. So they've now earned just over £1 million. So I'm not saying that to scare you or to impress you, but if you're sitting there or you're fairly new in the business and you're thinking, what sort of incomes can you earn? They've just gone over the £1 million mark. And interesting thing Darren said was, based on the pence per service, you know, if you're looking at a 6-figure residual income, by the time insurance kicks in, boiler cover kicks in, and stuff like that, you probably need about 10,000 group customers to earn a 6-figure annual residual income. Now, I know 10,000 may sound like a huge amount, but once we start implementing some of these things, it's sort of well in the reach of everyone on the call.
Amazing. So really, we just need to be saying to everybody, get yourselves on the leadership training courses as soon as you're able to, as soon as they're coming up. Talk to your upline, spend time planning how you're going to get to your next level. And if people are not sure on how to do that or how to teach their team, then either get themselves on the training or come and talk to you. Is that it? Absolutely.
Well, I wouldn't say come and talk to me. I'll say come and talk to you, because
all right, I'll come and talk to you.
But no, I think what it's about is getting serious in the business, because this is now, you know, it always has been, but you know, 21 years ago when I joined the business, it was a little tin pot business and we didn't even know if it's going to work. You know, it's a serious business and they've got serious money to invest. And this can make a serious difference to all our lives in the next 2 to 5 years.
Amazing. Okay. Lloyd, we're on less than a minute now, so I don't want to get us all cut off. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us and coming and giving us a hot off the press rundown on that. Guys, if you've got any questions, pop them up on the chat and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. And yeah, fantastic news, exciting times ahead. And we will see you all very, very soon, okay? Have a great evening, everybody, and let's go do this business. Bye. Bye. Bye.